This is Nancy Damiano, Garden Girl at 2peasinabucket.com with another episode of Memory Keeping Mondays. Okay, today's page all started out with these word bubbles. They're wood veneer, they're by Studio Calico, and they have all kinds of cool little sayings on them. Play, superstar, my favorite, and you rock, and all different kinds of cute sayings. I love how they're in different shapes as well. The one that stood out to me the most was this word that said awesome, because my son is actually having a little bit of a love affair with this word right now, and anything you ask him, he tells you it's awesome. Particularly so when we went on the Disney cruise. Anything you asked him, everything was awesome. So I wanted to preserve that memory, and I thought the title of the page was a little pun off of these word bubbles, things you hear on a Disney cruise. And so I chose a few of the words that either he used or that I thought were perfect for this vacation. When looking through my photos, I decided on a nice scenery shot of the boat and then a close-up of the logo of Disney Cruise Lines, and I thought these would support my story well. When I was looking for a paper collection, the Good Life by Fancy Pants stood out right away. It has those iconic Disney colors. So the red and white polka dot, the yellow, the black and the white. I thought it would go perfectly and help me tell the story. So this is most of the collection pack. I have used some of it, so I don't have all the sheets of paper, but I'll show you what I have. This is the border sticker, all the really nice strips. This is my favorite. It's just an ice blue crackle. Some flags on the back. A great polka dot. A red crackle. I love this small chevron. This yellow one. This is a good one to tell a Disney day by day if you ever make a page like that. That's a great paper. This one. It's just a very plain light aqua. This is a great stripe, again, for Disney characters or autograph pictures. This would go really well. And a pretty leaf print. This one again with the same colors. Plain black. And then a plain aqua. This also came in the collection pack. These are flags. And what I love about them the most is that they're all in different shapes. From the very widest, largest, to the smallest, and then a sticker. I can always use these small stickers. And then last are the chipboard frames. These don't come in the collection pack. I bought these separately because not only could I use them on this project and with this, they're also such neutral colors that I'll be using these on lots of different projects, including the Snap collection. They match really well with the Snap collection. And again, all different widths, from skinny and tiny to super wide and polka dotted. So lots of uses. Here are a few more tiny ones. And we'll be using those today. Okay, let's get started on our page. Okay, to get started, I've chosen this small red and white chevron. And I'm just going to layer a few different things until I get the look I'm looking for. And I also chose this blue crackle. Just, I like this color, and it adds a little bit of texture. I'm going to use the red as my base. I don't think we're going to see much of it when I'm finished with it, but I need something to use as a base to keep it square. And we'll see how the design works out. I'm not sure. This white strip, I'm just going to use this to break up the two colors. I know that on one half I'm going to have my two photos, and the other half I want to use some of those flags and a frame as well. So that idea I already have. So I like this, how it's looking almost like a flag. And this white area here is great for the word bubbles. So I'm going to go ahead with that, but I'm only going to glue it down the center, just in case I need to tuck later. Okay, let me see how my photos look on this. Okay, I'm not going to glue those down, but I like that so far. I've already chosen these 3 flags, more or less. I might change my mind later, but I know that these are going to go down here somewhere. And I will also start to lay out these. And the all important awesome. I left this nice and wide, much wider than this, because my other idea was to layer some of these white artisan words by Pink Paisley. I like the white on white look, although I could also paint them as well. What I think I'm going to do is paint some of these woods, just so some of them stand out. The largest one I'll paint gray, and I have had already taken out some paint just in case. I'll add 2 coats to these. This was Pewter Gray by Apple Barrel, and this is Christmas Red by Craft Paint, Anita's all-purpose acrylic. Okay, we'll set these aside for now. Okay, while I'm waiting for those to dry, I am going to start on my frame, and this is where I'm going to do my title. I'm going to choose this red one. And then I'll show you a shape that I cut out with my silhouette. It's just a starburst, see it there? And I'm going to use the negative. I actually did use the positive on a different project. So this was something I had left over, and then I just cut it down to the size of the frame. Okay, my thought was always to put the title inside of this starburst shape. And so what I did to do that is I used Photoshop Elements. And this is super basic. All I did was use a shape, a circle. I added the red color and then just type text on top of it. This is called Wrexham Script, and this is Rockwell Extra Bold. Super easy to make a custom title. If you don't want to use Photoshop Elements, I'm sure you could cut this out on a silhouette. And if you don't want to do that, just punch out a large red circle from red cardstock and use your white letter stickers. I would suggest that you alternate a thin, skinny font and then a nice bold one. Aesthetically, it will just look better. And then I'm going to use this right underneath here. And this just looks like a vintage sign to me, with just enough modern to it. I've seen those so much on Pinterest, and that's basically where the inspiration came from. I have to trim a little bit of this white off. Okay, these have finished drying, so I'm going to glue these down along the bottom edge of the white strip. Pretty randomly. And I'm using Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive, one of my favorites. I think I'm going to fit one of these words right along the top. and discover fits pretty well there. I like where everything fits, so I can start gluing things down. I printed out some journaling on a little piece of vellum that I would like to use. Not much, just a bit. Okay, now I'll just take a look at my layout since I'm just about done and see where can I add an interesting detail or something that adds color. The first blank space that I see is right here. So I'll add something. I love these arrows on the, I'll use this one. Use a little bit of color and I think maybe the date here as well. Actually, I think I'm going to change my mind about this. I like how this yellow looks here, and I feel like I need something in here. So, this vellum should be easy enough to take down. I think I'm going to use this, and I will use the bicycles. I think maybe a few more enamel dots in here. I should have painted this one, but since I didn't, there we go. And that just adds a little extra stem. To even up the top a little bit, I think I'm going to add a little bit of washi tape. I like this red polka by Bella Boulevard. And that gives the paper a little bit of height. There. Alright, add a staple. And that's it. For a complete listing of all the products that I used today, check out www.2peasinabucket.com, and I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me.